好，同学们，大家好。我们今天学习一下怎么写句子。句子的意思是 sentences. We have already learned very quickly, very briefly about 100个字, 100 characters. You have already learned at least 100 radicals. Each one could also be a character. So if you were paying attention, you have already learned 100个字, 100. That's half of what I am expecting you to learn for the whole year. So the next step is for you to learn to write sentences with those words. 在学习中文的时候, when you're learning Chinese, 写 writing 最重要 most important. 为什么？因为 because 你可以写就可以读看你可以写 if you can write 就可以 then you can 读 read 看 understand see 中文的东西 Chinese writing Chinese things 王老师希望你们学会怎么写王老师希望 hope 你学会 you learn 怎么写 how to write 你看一下王老师的嘴 You can see my mouth. You can't see my mouth in class. So this is a great way for you to learn how to enunciate. 请拿纸和笔，我们把这个写下来。谢谢同学们。王老师分享一下屏幕，分享 share 屏幕 screen。好，同学们，你们要记住 remember 怎么写一个自己的介绍。Self-introductory 这是学中文的第一步 First step to learn Chinese 好我们要先跟同学们说你好这是一个非常非常简单的 greeting 你好 is okay or 你吃了吗 Have you had food? Also good Do not say 你好吗 Just like fortune cookie is not Chinese You know, it was not invented in China. Nobody in China eats fortune cookies. 你好吗 is really not authentic You will start with 你好。哦，对不起，王老师选错了。你好，请写下来。Please write it down in your notes. You're gonna turn this in. 写下来。你好，好。You usually will say 我叫 which is I'm called, but it's not the best way. It's really not the very best way to introduce yourself. In China, we always talk about 姓 first. 姓是 last name because your last name is more important than your first name. Your family shows your status. No one cares about who you are. They care about what family you come from. That is how it was in ancient China, and this tradition has been carried over. 所以我们要先说我 like this, and then 姓 you write female and birth. This means sex, last name, okay? 我姓 put your last name here. And then write 叫 first name, period. Period in Chinese is open circle. 我 consists of 手 which means hand, and ge which means the most basic type of ancient weapon. This is how you write I. You just combine them right here. 我姓王叫王一鹏 When you say 叫 you don't just say your first name, you will state your whole name. 我姓王叫王一鹏 You will not say 我姓王叫一鹏 That's kind of awkward in Chinese. 好，同学们，我们继续看啊。我姓 last name 叫 whole name. 第三句话，我 blank 岁。岁 here is combined with 山 which means mountain on top, and 西 which means evening. Okay, evening or dusk. So if you're talking about the sun setting below the mountain, that's basically how a day or time passes. So the word 岁 resembles passing of time. And in Chinese, this word means your age. 我 blank 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 岁. 岁, not too hard to write, right? 我 again, you're gonna write 我 like 1,000 times this year, so you will learn it. 中间 in the middle, 写数字 write a number. 你多大? How old are you? You're gonna put it right there. 13, 14, 13, 14, 15, 有可能12. This is what you're gonna write here, okay? 12, 13, 14, 15. 我们把你的 age 写下来。好，这是第三句话 the third sentence. 下面 you're gonna talk about 你上几年级 which grade level are you? 你要写我上 You might be wondering, 王老师上 means up. Yeah, it also means attend. 我上应该是6吧？6、7、6、7年级。Look at the word 级. Doesn't the left side look like stairs? Yeah, I think that's literally means levels. Okay, think about that. Look like stairs. The right side also kind of look like stairs or steps. So this word, this is how I remember it is 级。我上6、7年级. Do not write both. You got to pick one or the other. 好吧。然后呢，我们写了年级以后，年级 means grade level. 我们要说你是哪国人 ？Which country are you from? What is your nationality? 好。我比如说王老师会说我是美国人，美国 is America。我也可以说我是中国人，中国人就是 I'm Chinese, I am from China。我们学过很多很多很多的国家我们学过 learned 很多很多 many many 国家 country。看一看 look 看一看以前的 previous PPTs PowerPoints。我们看一下 You can go back and find your nationality or your country. If I did not put your country down, private message me. 王老师会帮你写下来。好，我们再写一下啊。我们写了这些句子以后呢，我们要说一说我们的家庭。This character might be really difficult for you to remember at the beginning, so I'm going to try to break it down for you. This is 家. 家 consists of two parts. The top part, we call this 保盖头 or the protection bracket. Whenever you see this top part in a Chinese character, then this thing or the meaning of this word has something to do with being protected. Okay, the bottom part here is pronounced. Most people probably, a lot of Chinese people don't know this, but it's pronounced it 屎. And this actually means swine or hog. Basically, the middle word means pig. Now, you might be wondering, why do the Chinese word 家 for family have pig and protection in it? Because in ancient China, our writing system was developed at a very, very early time, maybe about 3,600 or 4,000 years ago. So way back then, it was really, really, really difficult to always have food for everybody. Your ability to have food showed your wealth and social status. That is why 你吃了吗? Have you had food is a way for us to greet people. That's an old greeting that's lasted thousands of years. Okay? So for the Chinese people, a family, a place that you could call family, cannot only be a place that offers protection. You can go find a cave. A cave offers protection, but a cave is not a home. Therefore, a home absolutely needs to have the ability to feed you if you cannot have food. Pigs were one of the first animals that were domesticated. Okay, so people started to gather them, put them in a little corral and feed them. And once they ran out of food to eat, they would slaughter the pig and eat the meat. Pigs could eat anything. They're basically scavengers. So you didn't have to have a particular type of feed or food for the pigs. Therefore, pigs at homes were a very defining characteristics of ancient Chinese families. They all had pigs in terms of, when emergency comes, when in the wintertime you have no food left, they would kill the pig and eat the pig. So a family has to be more than just a place for you that offers you shelter. It also absolutely needs to offer you food, okay, to quench your thirst and hunger. That is why the word family has swine or pig underneath it, and it's pronounced 家. It's kind of hard to write, but you will write this many, many, many times. 我家有 have blank 个人. A number should go here. How many people is in your family? The word 个 is measure word for people. In the Chinese language, there is something called measure word. Measure word goes between a number and a subject you're talking about, like people, cat, dog, whatever. Like pencil, whatever you're talking about, if there's a number or amount of that thing, in the middle should be a measure word. 个 is the most common one. You're going to learn 2 today. Okay, you already know this really. 我家有 put the number 个人。然后呢，我们写，然后 therefore 对不起，我爸爸，我爸爸，我妈妈，我哥哥，和我。好，my dad, my mom, my older brother, and I. 和是 and also peace, getting along 的意思。和我。If I wrote this, 我爸爸妈妈哥哥和我，我们数一下，数 count，一、二、三、四。So I wrote 4 people, therefore it should be 四 in the previous sentence. 我家有4个人. If you wrote 我家有6个人, then you better have 6 people, 5 other family members besides you. Okay, your sentence needs to match here. 好，同学们 last thing we're going to write is 我还有的意思是 also have. 还 is also. 我还有一只猫。猫 is 喵喵 cat. 一只猫 one cat. So 只 is another measure word, and 只 usually we use it to measure pets, like cats and dogs. Think about the stuff that has 4 legs, mostly just cats and dogs, really. 一只猫和 and 3只狗。最后我们写一句，最后 lastly，我爱 love 我的家。I love my family. 你看啊，love 这个字 is very, very, very cool. On top, this 4 dots represents the heart. Your heart's got 4 chambers. Those 4 strokes represents the heart. And then we have the protection bracket. And lastly, in the middle, we have friendship. Okay, so love in the Chinese tradition is some friends you keep in your heart. A friend that you keep in your heart is the person you love. Really cheesy, but that's how I explain to all my students in the hope for them to remember. 好，同学们，你们要把这个写下来。You need to write this down. 然后 then 写一段话关于你自己。Write this exact thing, but with regard to yourself. Okay? You should change the name to your first name and last name. Talk about how old you are. Talk about which grade level you're in, talk about which your nationality you are, and then go into your family. Now, I told you on the summative assessment, your family situation here should not be real. You shouldn't have to go in and write all the family members you have. Maybe you have a huge family, 15 members. Don't do that. Waste of time. But for this classwork, make it real and authentic. Tell me how many people's in your family, immediate family. Please don't do the family tree on this. That'll just take too long. And talk about how many pets you have. 好，谢谢同学们. If you don't know the pets' names, if you don't know how to write a parrot, Google Translate it. But everything else, you shouldn't need to at all. Okay? Try to use Google Translate only for the words you don't know how to write, but don't try to Google Translate the whole sentence because Google Translate is actually really poor when creating sentences and paragraphs. 同学们做完了以后，做完了 finish 以后 after you finish 照照片 take a picture 发给王老师 send it to 王老师。谢谢同学们，加油！